Good morning, children. Today we are going to start with another lesson from the snapshot. So, in this lesson, my dear children, we will come to understand about the opinion, the belief of the people on English. What were the superstition related to English, and what were the attitude of the people on this particular language when there is British Raj. That means when the British ruled in India, what were the common belief related to English? That will come to understand through this particular lesson, lesson number 3, Ranga's Marriage, written by Masti Venkatesha Iyengar. So this is the lesson written by the Indian writer in English. He is from southern part of India. Therefore, we'll learn it through Indian English presented by K. Jalan. Here we go. Let us continue. So, my dear children, so before starting, so let me tell you, in this lesson, the writer talks about the marriage of Ranga. Ranga is one of the character from the village who went to Bangalore for his studies. Therefore, this writer here must be Venkatesh Iyengar. So from this part, the first part of the name, the first part of the name you can understand. What you can understand? You can understand the name of the village where the writer was born. This is quite interesting. In order to learn that, let us go to the main text. So, we'll see the introductory part of the text, and after that we'll go for the summary. Therefore, let us go to the text. Here we start. This is the name of the lesson, Ranga's marriage. Means this is the wedding or Vibaha, Indian word of Ranga. This is a possessive case. Means this apostrophe S means of. Means marriage of Ranga. Marriage of Ranga. Now let us go to the text. Ranga, the accountant's son, is one of the rare breed among the village folk who has been to the city to pursue his studies. So we are introduced to the main character, the hero, the protagonist, Ranga. Ranga is the main character. Now he is the son of the accountant. And he is one of the reputed person in the village. And he is a rare breed. Means he is a somewhat rare, uncommon. Rare means uncommon. He was the rare breed among the village folk. Folk means the people. P-E-O-P-L-A, people who had been to the city to pursue his studies. Pursue means what? Continue. Rare means what? Uncommon. Uncommon means somewhat special. Okay, somewhat special. So now my dear children, we will come to understand the manner in which the lesson is going to be presented. So the tone here you will understand. So as soon as we go to the lesson, we will understand what is the tone, whether it is a serious tone or it is humorous, whether it is light or serious. You will come to understand when you go through the lesson. Just from the introduction also, from the warm-up activity of the lesson also, you have come to understand what does the lesson is going to tell, and in which manner, whether it is in a very light manner or in a serious manner, the lesson is going to be presented. Therefore, in order to know that, let us continue. So, we are talking about Ranga. Ranga is the hero or the protagonist. He is the son of the accountant, and he was one of the uncommon person because he dared to go to the city in order to pursue or continue his studies. Then, when he returns to the village from the city of Bangalore, the crowd mills around his house. Mills means gather, G-A-T-H-E, gather. gather into his house to see whether he has changed or not. So from here also you can understand, my dear children. So what is the common belief or the attitude of the people on English? So the common belief was that when people will learn English, when people will have their education through English or will learn English, then they will change their caste. Their caste will be changed, their personality will be changed, the total personality will be transformed. That was the common belief of the common people of India who were mostly illiterate. His ideas about marriage are now quite different, or are they? So now, when he went to the town, he had his education. After his education, his outlook or the attitude on marriage also underwent some change. But what exactly happened? It is our Shama, the accountant, who manipulates the situation. He worked in such a manner that the attitude of the newly educated son of the accountant underwent drastic vital change. He lost his idealism and got married, settled down, and became the ideal husband. Therefore, let us continue. So we have started this lesson. Now, when you see this title, some of you may ask, Ranga's marriage? Why not Ranganatha Bibaha or Ranganatha Bijaya? So that the writer is talking about the title of this lesson. Why this title is a simple Ranga's marriage or wedding of Ranga? Why not it is Ranganatha Bibaha or Ranganatha Bibaha or Ranganatha Bijaya? Bijaya means win. Okay? It is a winning. The writer meant to tell that there is no fancy title. The title is very simple. It is not ornate, or it is not decorated. It is not fancy title. No fancy title here. Well, yes, I know I could have used some other mouth-filling one like Jagannatha Vijaya or Giriraja Kallana, but then this is not about Jagannatha's victory or Giriraja's wedding. Okay? So, Girija is for female. Wedding is the marriage. Then there is mouth feeling. Mouth feeling means big and high sounding. Big and high sounding. Big and high sounding. Sounding. High sounding. So this title is not given any fancy title like the Grija Kallana. Kallana means beautiful, beautiful. Grija Kallana or Jagannatha's victory or Girija wedding. It is given to the simple title, that is Rangasa marriage. So why? Because he gives the reason for it. He tells that it is all about our own Rangas marriage and hence no fancy title. So when you are asked the question why no fancy title is given, then you will be telling that it is not fancy because it is related to, or it deals with the common boy, that is our son of the accountant, who is from the remote part of the village. Therefore, what will be suitable? The simple title like the Ranga's marriage will be suitable, not a fancy title is suitable. Therefore, he is not giving any fancy title. Hosahali is our village. Now, Hosahali is the village. So the writer now will be talking about the village of Hosahali. You must have heard of it. No. What a pity. But it is not your fault. There is no mention of it in any geography book. So the writer is asking, so have you heard of this village? Oh, you have not heard of. So it is not your mistake at all, because it is not mentioned in any of the geography book, or it is not also mentioned in the map too. So the cartographer might have forgotten to mention the name in the map. Those sahibs in England writing in English probably do not know that such a place exists, and so make no mention of it. Those sahibs means polite way of telling the gentleman. Those sahibs, honorable people. Our own people too forgot about it. You know how it is. They are like flock of sheep. Flock of sheep. One sheep walk into a pit, and the rest blindly follow it. So now, you see, my dear children, this is a humorous. Why it is a humorous? Because irony is used here. What is the purpose of the irony? Irony means he told something, he actually wanted to mean something else. So what is the use of the irony? Irony is to make some change in the attitude or the behavior. So what he actually tells, he tells what? They are like a flock of sheep. Means it is the collective noun, flock of the sheep. So how does a sheep behave? The sheep go in a cluster or a group, and they are bound with they are compelled with the collective behavior. They do not use what? They do not use their own logic. They do not use their own conscience or own logic, own reason. That is what. Now he's in a ironical manner. He's telling that the people are just like the sheep. He uses this. He uses this simile. He uses this simile in order to make the people understand that they did not use their own conscience or own logic in order to judge a particular situation or judge a person. Therefore, they are not less than sheep. Therefore, in a humorical manner, he begins to explain. Therefore, he tells that one sheep walk into the pit, the rest blindly follow it. Okay? Pit, pond. So, if one sheep goes to danger, if one sheep is going to the pit, okay, not to the peak, peak of the hill, going down, descending, then all will go down, all will descend, and it is the characteristic of the people of the village who are mostly illiterate or ignorant. Therefore, they do not use their own conscience or judgment. When both of the Sahib in England and our own geographers have not referred to it, you cannot expect the poor cartographer to remember it to put on the map, can you? And so there is not even the shadow of our village in any of the map. Therefore, now the writer going in support of not mentioning the name of this village in any of the geography book or any of the famous places. So the reason behind this is that it is not so important. Therefore, he is of the opinion that the particular person who actually makes the map, you cannot expect from him also to make a mention of the village Hosahali in his map too. Now let us see when he was talking about his own village, he was swayed, he was moved, he was influenced by his emotion. And therefore, when you are influenced by the emotion, what do? You begin to ramble. What is ramble? Means you are going off the track. You are going off the track. And that is what happened to our accountant too. Therefore, what he is rambling and how far he will ramble. Now, let us also travel with his rambling. Here we go. Let's continue. Sorry, I started somewhere and then went off in another direction. Either the state of Mysore is to Bharata Barsha. What is the sweet Karigadu is to a festival. Then the Hosahali is to Mysore. So, my dear children, so you will understand. So, the writer actually wanted to talk about what? He wanted to give an analogy. analogy is a very important part in the exam. In all the exam, this analogy comes. So this analogy I tell you. So as you see, the state of Mysore. So I am talking about Mysore. Mysore is related to what? India or Bharatvarsha. So it is an integral part. It is integral part. You cannot separate it. And in the similar manner, Hosahali also is related to Mysore in the same manner. Or you can tell about the Karigadabu, Karigadabu, Dabu. So it is actually fried sweet, made specially in South India. Okay, into the festival, into the absence of it, the festival also will be incomplete. Therefore, the festival festival is to the Karigadu, as Mysore is to the India. Similarly, this Hosahali also is to Mysore, as important to the Mysore. He is now in a very exaggerated manner, in an elaborate manner, is talking about the village in a very glowing term. In a very glowing term means in a very praising term or tribute. Okay, he wanted to praise the village. So what are the cause of this praise? Let us see whether he was authentic or he was in a humorous manner. That also will have to be judged while you go through the lesson. Therefore, let us continue. Here we go. What I have said is absolutely true. Absolutely true. I will not object to your questioning it, but I will stick to my opinion. I am not the only one who speak glowingly of Hosahali. We have a doctor in a place. His name is Gundavata. He agrees with me. Has been to quite a few places. So no, not England. If anyone asks him whether he has been there, he says no. Anaya, I have left that to you. Running around like a flea-faced dog is not for me. I have seen a few places in my time, though, as a matter of fact, he has seen many. So now, the writer is talking about whom? The writer is talking that there is a doctor, name of the doctor is Gundavatta. He is a very famous person. He has been to many places except England, and he will also agree. So you see that the last line, if anyone asks him, he means the doctor Gunavata, then he will tell whether he has been there to the village. He says no. Anaya is the term used in a respectful manner. Okay, respectful manner. Terms for the elder. It is the term spoken to the elder, elders in a respectful manner, Therefore, he will tell it in a respectful manner that I have left that to you. Running around like a flea-pestered dog. Flea-pestered means disturbed. Pestered means disturbed. So you will see that particularly during the rainy days, the dogs are very much disturbed by the fleas. In the similar manner, so when you use this term flea-pestered dog, that means we mean to tell something is disturbing. So this actually talks about the disturbing force. I've left that to you. Running around like a flea-pestered dog means just simply seems to be disturbed. It is not from me. I have seen a few places in my time, though as a matter of fact, he has seen many. He has seen many places except England, and he says that I have not actually seen England, I've seen many other places. So let us see the next part. We continue. Now in the same tune, the writer is going to talk about his own village. Now he'll be talking about his mango. So the mango is known for what? Mango is known for two quality. Number one, it may be sweet or it may be sour. S-O-U-R, sour. So what is the quality here? We will see now. We have some mango tree in our village. Come visit us and I will give you a rare mango from one of them. Therefore, the writer now is inviting the people to visit the village in order to taste the mango, the raw mango especially, and he will give the rare type. There are many mango trees, and from there a rare type, okay, a very dear type, which is not hardly found, which is not easily found, that will be given to him, and then you can have the taste. Okay, what a peculiar, what a wonderful taste it is. Do not eat it, just take a bite. आपको खाने का जरूरत नहीं है, आप केवल एक बाइट दीजिए. यू जस्ट गिव अ बाइट, यू टेक अ बाइट. The soreness is suited to go straight to your Brahmarandra. Okay, Brahmarandra is the particular hole in the brain or the head of small children. Okay, that means this will be going to the innermost part of your brain. I once took a fruit home and a chutney was made out of it. All of us ate it, and the cough we suffered from after that. It was when I went up for the cough medicine that the doctor told me about the special quality of the food. Therefore, now he has given an example, the example of the mango. The mango is special because when the writer brought it to his home in order to make the chutney. Chutney is an Indian word. Went to English dictionary and he made the chutney. And after consuming that, all the people suffered from the cough. And when doctor was consulted, the doctor told about the special quality of the fruit mango. Then let us go to the next paragraph and we move. Now, in this paragraph, he will be talking about what? He will be talking about the creeper. Creeper is the climbing plant or trailing plant. So, what is the speciality of it? What is the speciality of the leaf of it? He will be having a mention of it, and then we will see now. Just as the mango is special, so is everything else around our village. So we have a creeper growing into the ever so fine water of the village pond. So he is now mentioning about the village pond. In the ancient time, what exactly happened? A particular village will be having a pond. Okay, a pond will be there, and this will be the collective pond for all the villagers. All the villagers will come and have the water. Therefore, this is the common pond, and in it we have a creeper. Okay, there was a climbing tree. There was a climbing plant or tree, climbing plant or trailing plant. Trailing, trailing plant. Its flowers are feast to behold. Feast means great food. Okay, great food. Here it will be beautiful. B-E-A-U-T-I-F-U-L. Beautiful. That means he is now talking about the flower of the creeper growing into the pond of the village, and it is so beautiful. It is so impressive. It is so magnetic. It is the feast, or it is a kind of great feast for the eyes. Means I will go on looking at it. Get the tulips from the creeper when you go to the pond for your bath. When you are going to the pond, so this is the area of the pond. Okay, when you are going to this pond, it is filled with the water, and then there is the creepers, and there is the leaves in it. Now he's talking about the leaves. Get two leaves from the creeper. When you go to the pond for your bath, and you will not have to worry about not having the leaf on which to serve the afternoon meal. Therefore, now he is talking about the usefulness of this particular leaf. So when you are serving the food in the afternoon, you will not have to worry, because of this particular leaf will serve the purpose of serving the food on this fresh leaves. You will say, I'm rambling. I'm rambling. Rambling means go off. Go off. That means you are go out of track. Means not specific. Not specific. Specific. Not to the point. Now, the reader may tell that you are rambling, you are going off the track, or you are not specific, you are not coming to the point, you are simply talking about the village, but you were supposed to talk about what? Ranga's marriage. Now, the writer tells that when I am talking about the village, my village is such a place that when I talk about it, I cannot but ramble. It is always like that when the subject of our village comes off. So he tells that, my dear children, I am very much helpless when I talk about my village. There are so many beautiful things in my village that I can hardly stop from talking. But enough, if any one of you would like to visit us, drop me a line. Drop me a line means you can talk me. You can talk. So if you have the intention to, if you have decided to visit the village, then please do contact me, write me or drop me a line so that I can help you. And he tells that in order to know about a particular place, the best way is to visit it. Go physically there. Therefore, he will tell now, I will let you know where Hosahali is and what the things are like here. So when you are dropping a line, or when you are writing a letter, when you are contacting me, I will allow you to know where this Hosahali is there in Mysore, what is the exact location, and I will also be telling the important picnic spot, the important places to be visited, or the places which are frequented by the travelers. Now he is also going to tell about the traveling and the educative power, or the power of education, or the educative value of traveling. That the best way of getting to know a place to visit it. Don't you agree? Therefore, now he is asking a tag question. In this tag question he tells. So he first gives the assertion like the best way in order to know a particular place is to visit it. Do you not agree? That means when you are asking the tag question, you want to give some stress or affirmation or assertion. Therefore, let us go to the next paragraph. Now he will be coming to the point slowly and gradually. So this is starting of this lesson. This lesson is not a dramatic start. It's not having the dramatic start. तो जैसे कि मतलब लेसन, ज़्यादातर लेसन क्या होता है, उसका स्टार्टिंग मतलब एकदम ड्रामेटिक होता है. जैसे में हिंदी मूवी जो होता है, हिंदी मूवी मतलब मिडिल से स्टार्ट होता है, धीरे धीरे मतलब क्या होता है, फ्लैशबैक मेथड से, फ्लैशबैक मेथड है ना, FLASH, फ्लैशबैक मेथड यूज करने के बाद वो क्या करते हैं, धीरे धीरे बैक करते 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 वो क्या करते हैं, द हीरोज बर्थ एंड देन ग्रोथ इज told. But here it is told in a traditional manner. Okay, so he's starting with the village, and then now he'll be coming to the point slowly and gradually. Here we go. What he tells. What I am going to tell you is something that happened 10 years ago. We did not have many people who knew English then. Now we are talking about India. during the British Raj. We are talking about India during the British Raj. When the British ruled India at the time we were talking, then so he tells that when I published this lesson, 10 years before that, 10 years before that this exactly happened. So he's talking about 10 years before that. Then at that time, what exactly happened? What is the position of English? What is the position? We did not have many people who knew English. There were less number of people who knew English, spoke English, and wrote English. Our village accountant was the first one who had enough courage to send his son to Bangalore to study. Now see, our accountant is also an educated person, and therefore, when he was educated, and therefore he had the courage. The writer has used the word courage क्योंकि ये courage इसीलिए यूज किया गया है कि people are afraid. Why people are afraid? The people are afraid that if you are educating your children through English, then their caste will go, their religion will go, and they will be totally changed or transformed. And that was the belief. And therefore, our accountant dared to send his son to Bangalore, to the city, in order to study from this particular village, Hosahali, he was sent. It is a different now. So now, when you are talking about the present time, it is a different. It is now a different matter because you will see what there are many who know English. At present, you will see or encounter, you will meet so many people who are speaking in English. So many people you will see they write and speak in a beautiful manner English. During the holidays, you come across them on every street talking in English. So come across means, so this is a phrasal verb or group verb, and the meaning here is to meet all of a sudden. Meet all of a sudden. Means a suddenly meeting, okay? All of a sudden you are meeting. That is a what? So in the when the vacation is declared, the children will come back to the village and they will be walking during the evening time. When they will be walking, then they will certainly the friends will gather and they will be talking in English because that was the fashion and they like to speak in English and that is the condition at present. So you can meet all of a sudden them there in the street now. Those days we did not speak in English or nor did we bring in English words while talking. So in those days during the British Raj in India, so we did not speak in English nor while we were talking, while we were conversing, while we were talking at the time, we did not bring English word in our conversation or talk. So now let us come to the next one, next paragraph. While talking in Canada. So now the writer will make a mention of the use of the English word in the local language or the regional language. When you are using, what are the kind of the drawbacks or what are the inconvenience that is caused in a humorous manner he will be talking. So let us see and enjoy it. Here we go. Let us continue. What has happened is disgraceful. Believe me, that the other day I was in Ranga house when they bought a bundle of firewood. So the narrator Shama told that what exactly happened. This is very disgraceful. This is very disrespectful. Respectful means this is dishonoring. So he is now talking about the Rama Rao. Rama Rao is one of his friend in the village. So one day he visited there, and then what happened? That day a woman came with a bundle of firewood to sell. Then when the negotiation was going on, when they were about to give the money, then what happened? Let us see. Ramadara's son came out to pay for it. So that the son of Ramarao came in order to pay for the bundle of the firewood. He asked the woman, how much should I give you? 4 rupees. So in Kannada, he asked the question, that the son of Ramarao asked the question, how much he will have to pay? Then the woman said, 4 rupees only. She said that the boy told her that he did not have any change and asked her to come the next morning. Now what happened? There is a bigger currency, there was no 4 rupees was not there. So this currency was, or the denomination was in the form of the rupee. And for this reason that the boy, the son of the Ramarao, told the woman that they did not have the change and asked her to come next morning. That the women, they did not understand that the English word change and went away muttering to herself. Muttering to herself. Muttering means what? M-U-R, murmur. Murmur का मतलब क्या है? Mild complaint, mild complaint, है ना? जो चीज आप नहीं बोल सकते, जोर से मतलब नहीं बोल सकते, उसको क्या करते हैं आप? धीरे धीरे मतलब ना एकदम साइलेंटली सोफ्टली वो आप कंप्लेन करते हैं ताकि आपका मन शांत हो जाए. The woman also actually did not understand the language, and because of that she was unhappy. She could not understand, and therefore she could not protest also, and therefore what she did, she was muttering, she was talking to herself and complaining in a very mild manner, and she was speaking in a low manner. Okay? I too did not know later when I went to the Ranga's house and asked him and understood what it means. So the writer Shama also is now very humorous. In a very ironical manner, he tells that he also did not understand what was the meaning of the word change. Only when he went to Ranga's house, only when he visited to Ranga, then only he came to understand what was the meaning. Because Ranga was newly educated, a newly educated person returned from Bangalore. Only 6 months back he went to the city. Therefore, let us see now. Let us continue in the next paragraph. So now, once again, he will continue in the same vein or in the same style. Okay, he will continue in the same style. What was the style earlier? So he will be continuing in the same vein or same style. What is the style? So the style is humorous style. He will continue. Okay, in a lighter vein, or lighter style, in a amusing manner, he will continue. This is priceless commodity that the English language was not so widespread in our village a decade ago. When we were talking about 10 years back, then this particular language, which is priceless commodity, it is a thing which is a priceless, the price of which you cannot give. Means it is so valuable, a language. And 10 years back, it was not so widespread. Means people did not use it in their conversation, in their talk, in their writing, or in their speech. That was the why Ranga's homecoming was a great event. People rushed to his doorstep announcing that the accountant's son has come. So you will be asked the question, why Ranga's homecoming was important occasion for the village. तब आपको बोलना पड़ेगा, क्या बोलना पड़ेगा? So you will have to tell about the importance of English. You will have to tell about the notion. You will have to tell about the notion or the idea or the attitude of the people on English. So now we see Ranga's homecoming was a very important or very very important for the villagers because he went to the city in order to get education through English, and English was out of reach for the villagers 10 years back. Therefore, they came to the village. They came to the house of the accountant in order to have a peep, in order to have a look, in order to have a glance at our Ranga, just to see, just to verify, just to check whether he's the same person or he's changed one. Let us see. The boy who has gone to Bangalore for his studies is here, it seems. And come, Ranga is here, let us go and have a look. Means people were coming just like the flock of the sheep. The people were coming in group, and they were inviting one another. They were telling it is just like a celebration for the village, because they wanted to see with their own eye the boy who went 6 months back to Bangalore in order to study, and they wanted to see him by themselves. Attracted by the crowd, I too went and stood into the courtyard and asked, "Why have all these people come? There is no performing monkey here." So now here also you will also notice here that it is again humorous. So he is now the narrator. We are talking about the narrator. Narrator came. So he was attracted by the crowd. So many people came, and he was also attracted. He went there and stood in one of the corner of the courtyard, and then asked the people why all these people came here, as if some performing monkey is there, as if some monkeys are performing some tricks so that they are coming to enjoy it. Then there was one boy who responded to his question. So what is the question? The question was, as if there is the performing monkey. Why have all these people have come? That is the question. Now let us see what the boy said. A fellow without any brains, said loud enough for everyone to hear, "What are you doing here then, a youngster, immature, and without any manners, thinking that all these things were now of the past?" I kept. So when he posed this question, or asked this question, why have all these people come? Then a boy who was immature, not mature, who did not have much manners. He did not know the good manners or the polished manners. What is it, uncle? Then why have you come? So all these people have come. Okay, all right. You are asking the question. Now the question arises: why have you come? Then, the narrator has understood the situation, and therefore he thought that it is better not to tell anything, and therefore he kept mum. He kept silence, because many times silence is golden. Therefore, let's continue. Let's see the next paragraph. Seeing so many people there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. Had you all gone inside of the place, I would have turned into what the people call the black hole of Calcutta. Thank God it did not. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago. Now, when Ranga saw that so many people came to visit his home, therefore he came out with a smile on his face. And now the narrator observed that if all the people who visited would go inside of the home, then it will turn into the black hole of Calcutta that happened during the time of the Britishers, where many people died because of the darkness in the cell. Thank God it did not. Everyone was so surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago. Now this is a kind of surprise. This is a kind of surprise or alarm for them. Okay? They were so much stunned. They were so much stunned by what? By seeing that there is no change. That means they expected that there will be total transformation into the personality. He will look different. He will talk different. He will think different. Everything will be changed. But he was the same person. There is no change in him. Therefore, what happened? They were surprised. An old lady who was near him ran her hand over his chest, looked into his eyes and said, "The Janevara is still there." So after seeing this Janevara is the sacred thread. Owned by whom? Owned by the Brahmin. On their neck. It runs to the chest. Therefore, there was one lady, and the lady also had the same notion or the idea, same wrong notion. The notion was that the people underwent change, particularly in their caste or in the religion. Therefore, she was not just happy or satisfied to see Ranga. What she did, she ran her hand over the chest of Ranga and looked at the eyes of Ranga, and then was satisfied and was surprised to see that the Janevara was still there. Means he has not lost his caste. Then let us see. So the villagers, we have seen the picture of the villager here. Now we will see that the narrator will come, Shama will come, and after the arrival of Shama, what will happen? So he will manipulate the situation. He will get impressed with the narrator. He will get, not the narrator, he will get impressed with Ranga, and after that he will decide, he will resolve that he will soon get him married. So how it is? So let us continue. Once they realized that Ranga still had the same hand, leg, eyes and nose, the crowd melted away. Like a lump of sugar in a child's mouth. So here you see this is also a simile. So this simile is the movement of the people. So what do the people did? They melted away. Right? So suppose some lump of sugar, lump means which is not having shape. Okay, shapeless mass. It is the shapeless lump. Just like the shapeless mass of sugar, when it is put in the mouth of the child, when it gets melted, okay, due to the blessing of the saliva, in the same manner, after seeing that Ranga was not at all changed, the condition of the people also become like that. They melted away, means they instantly departed. They dispersed. They dispersed. Or they departed. Departed. Departed the two in a hasty manner. In a hasty manner or quickly. They quickly departed from that place. I continued to stand there. After everyone had gone, I asked, "How are you, Rangappa? Is everything well with you?" It was only then that Ranga noticed me. He came near me and did a namaskar respectfully, saying, "I'm all right with your blessing." So, this is the particular moment we can see the narrator and Ranga meet. Everybody departed, and at the time he rushed forward, the narrator rushed forward, asked Rangappa whether everything was well with him. Okay, and now it is at the time. It is at the time that Ranga noticed that the Shama or the narrator, he came near him in a respectful manner, and he did a namaskara. And his way of namaskara, just by bending down or stooping or bending. Okay. stooping or bending. That is important. When you are doing the namaskara, if you are just like if you are very much stiff, okay, if you are very much stiff, or if you are very much straight, if you are not bending or stooping, then it is not the traditional way of namaskara. But he was well mannered. He knew what namaskara was, and this is the particular part that impressed the narrator. And after getting impressed, he thought that, oh, he will be a good husband. Therefore, he decided in his mind that he will get Rangappa married. Then let us continue. Here you go. I must draw your attention. I must draw your attention to this aspect of Ranga's character. So, which aspect we are talking about? His mannerism. Okay, we are talking about his mannerism. Okay, polished one. Okay, polished mannerism. So, this is the particular feature. This is the particular feature or the aspect that the narrator draws the attention of the reader. Okay. Now, I must draw your attention to this aspect of the Ranga's character. He knew when it would be to his advantage to talk to someone. Let us see. Let us continue. Someone and rightly assess the people's worth. Let us see these lines once again. I must draw your attention to this aspect of Ranga's character. He knew when it would be to his advantage to talk to someone and rightly assess people's worth. People's worth. Worth means what? Worth means the value. Worth means the value. Therefore, Ranga, now when we are talking about the characterization, so when in the exam the characterization comes, then we will be talking that Ranga is an educated boy from the village of Hosahali. He is a well-mannered person, well-mannered boy, and he knew how to do the namaskara, and he was a polished in his way. Okay, he was a polished, and more particularly, he was a great evaluator. Okay, great evaluator means he can evaluate. He can evaluate or assess, evaluate people as to their worth or their value. He can assess the value of the people. Accordingly, he can behave. That means the narrator was an educated person. Therefore, how to behave with the education person, how to behave with the elderly people, how to behave with the vulnerable people, he knew very well. He could assess the value, and accordingly he behaved. And this is the particular part that impressed the narrator. As far as namaskara to do me, he did not do like any other presented a boy with his head up towards the sun, standing stiff like a pole without a joint, jerking his body as if it was either a wand or a walking stick. Now, it's a very beautiful description here. Two times the writer used this simile. Okay. Now, once it is a compared to the want. W-A-N-D. Want means what? Want means the S-T-I-C-K, stick pertaining to the wizard, है ना? Wizard or जादूगर, है ना? Magician. Wizard or magician. Now he is telling that the present of the children, particularly the modern children, what do they do when they are doing the namaskara? They are standing upright. They are standing upright just like a pole, एक stick जैसे, है ना? एक stick जैसे. Without a bending their joint, or without jerking his head, as if they were the wand of the magician, or they were just like the walking stick. Therefore, beautiful simile that is used by the writer in order to describe the present children who are far away from our Rangappa. But Rangappa is unlike them. There is a sharp contrast between the character of Rangappa with that of the other children of the same age group. Nor did he merely fold his hands. He bent low to touch the feet. So what our Rangappa did, he folded his hands and he bent very low. Means these are called stooping. S-T-O-O-P, stoop. Means a bending low to touch my feet. May you get married soon, I said, blessing him after exchanging a few pleasantries. I laughed. Pleasantries means what? Light conversation. Light conversation. Light conversation. Now when he bent low, touching to the feet of the narrator took the situation, he exploited the situation, and then he said that, may God bless you with a beautiful wife. Means you may get married very soon. This is my blessing to you as you now have got educated. Therefore, this is a very funny situation. The writer after that, what he did, he exchanged some light conversation with the narrator, and then he departed, resolving in his heart that he will certainly get married. Okay, get married Rangappa, because he will make a very good husband. Now, in this part, we'll see the heroine. So now we are talking about that afternoon to when Ranga came to the village. Okay, so we are talking about that afternoon. The afternoon was the resting time for the narrator, and at the time Ranga came to the house of the narrator. That afternoon when I was resting, Ranga came to my house with a couple of oranges in his hand. A generous, considerate fellow. It would be a fine thing to have him marry, settle down, and be service to the society, I thought. So on that particular day, in the evening time, when he came with some oranges in his hand, couple of oranges in his hand, in order to visit the narrator, at the time he saw his generous nature. Means he is not a miser. Okay, miser is very stingy fellow. Means he was large-hearted fellow, generous. He was very much considerate, having a lot of pity, sympathy, means all the good human quality he was having, and therefore the narrator thought that he will make a very good husband and he will be of use to the society. Therefore, he decided that he will make him married. So, what will be the name of the heroine? The name of the heroine, for that we will see. For a while we talked about this and that, and then I came to the point, Rangappa, when do you plan to get married? So this coming to the subject now. I'm not going to marry now. He said, why not? So Ranga was asked the question of the time when he is going to get married. Then he was telling that no, he has decided to remain bachelor. He has decided to remain bachelor because his attitude towards marriage is different from the other people in the village. He wanted to get married to a particular girl who is mature, who is educated, who understand. Therefore, these were the ideals. These were the views of Ranga on marriage. Therefore, he wanted to remain a bachelor. But what happened? His views, his ideologies, his attitude was changed due to the manipulation of the intelligent narrator, that is Shama. How does all change? We'll see in the explanation. Let us go to the explanation now. So we'll be moving to our notes. Okay, my dear children. So here we see now So you could understand that this is Ranga's summaries. Now we will be making a critical analysis of the lesson. So we'll go to the summary part, and we'll also get to know about the writer. We'll have the introduction, messages, and if possible, some one or two questions and answer. The model short type and long type, both type of questions we'll discuss. So first, let us see these are the scenery. These are the scenery. These are the pictures of marriage in the South India, and we are also talking about Ranga's marriage. This will be similar to this. Okay, Ranga and Ratna. How did they get married? We'll see. So first let us see the writer. Writer's name is Masti Venkatesh Iyengar. Masti Venkatesh Iyengar is the name of the writer. Name of the writer is Masti Venkatesh Iyengar. Born on 6th June 1891. Name of the village is Hosahali. Hosahali is the village. Died on Bengaluru or Bangalore on 6th June. Very interesting. Date of birth and date of death is same. He died on 6th June 1986. So he got his education in the University of Madras, got the Ganpit Award, and he was particularly a writer in Canada. Most of his writing was in Canada, and many of the writing, particularly 17 in number, were in English. Therefore, let us go to the biography of the writer once. Let us see the biography of the writer. Here we move. Let us continue. Masti Venkatesha Iyengar was a well-known writer in Kannada language. He was born on 6th June 1861 at Hangenhalli in Kolar district in Karnataka in Tamil language speaking Sri Vaishnava white family. He spent his early childhood in Masti village. He obtained his master degree in English literature in 1914 from Madras University. After joining the Indian civil service, he held a various positions of responsibility in different parts of Karnataka, rising to the rank of district commissioner. District commissioner, DC. After 26 years of service, he resigned in 1943 as a protest when he did not get the post equivalent to a minister, which he deserved, and a junior promoted aide of him. He wrote some pieces in English and then switched over to write in Kannada language. He used a pen name Srinivasa, pseudonym Srinivasa, to write short stories and novel in Kannada. A prolific writer, he wrote more than 123 books in Kannada, 17 in English for over 70 years. He won the Ganapit Award in 1983 for his novel Chikkavira Rajendra. Chikkavira Rajendra. This is the novel for which he was awarded the Ganapit Award in the year 1983. Finally, he died on 6th June 1986 on his 95th birthday. Let us come to the introduction to the lesson. So this is the time for our critical analysis of the lesson. So the introduction. The story depicts life in Indian village in the past when child marriage was very common. So we can see when we discuss the summary of the lesson, then we'll see how this child marriage was very common in the Indian village when the marriage will occur here. Ranga's marriage is an interesting story of how a person manipulated to get a young boy married to a 11-year-old girl in a village. The story dates back to the early days of the British rule, when English was not used in a big way. Ranga, father, the son of the village accountant, returned from Bangalore after his studies. His homecoming after 6 months make a big event. The curious villagers gather outside Ranga's house to see how much the boy's changed, but they see no change in the boy. The narrator discussed the issue of the marriage with Ranga. He talked to him to hear his ideas about marriage. He resolved to get the boy married to a very young and immature 11-year-old girl Ratna. He asked the support of Sastri, astrology to bring Ratna round, and Ranga forget his idealism and settled down happily after marrying with Ratna. In order to see how the marriage was manipulated by Shama, the narrator will have to go to the summary. So let us go to the summary of the lesson. Here we move. Let us continue to the summary. After going to the summary, we will go back to the character and the message of the lesson. So let us continue. So here is our summary of the lesson. Our summary of the lesson. Let us continue. So I've already discussed. Therefore, now is the time just to make a summary of the summary. No fancy title of the story. The narrator comments of why he had not given any elaborate title or fancy title to the present story like Ranganatha Bibaha or Jagannatha Bija. The reason is that the story is about a common boy, Ranga, his marriage. He is a accountant's son, and the native of the village Hosahali. Therefore, let us see the village Hosahali. We have already discussed. Therefore, it's time for revision. Let us move. The village Hosahali. The narrator mentions that this village is very small and it is not mentioned in geography books. Still, he speaks highly or glowingly about this village. Even though the local Dr. Gundavatta, who had visited many places outside India, finds it an impressive village. He also tells that the doctor also tell that yes, this village is a village to visit. The village is famous for its sour mangoes, creepers growing into the village pond. The leaves of the creeper could serve as a good plate for serving afternoon meal. But then the narrator Shama says that the real appreciation of the village can be felt only if one visits it personally or physically and get acquainted with it. Then let us see Ranga's homecoming, how it was a great event for the villagers. Let us go to the explanation. Sama recalls an incident that happened 10 years ago. The village accountant was the first one to gather enough courage to send his son to the Bangalore to study. Not many people knew English then. That was why Ranga homecoming was a great event. A big crowd went to greet him. The narrator rushed to see him. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga had not changed. Once they realized that Ranga was unchanged, the crowd of the people slowly disappeared. Only the narrator continued to stand there. Ranga had a smile on his face, still followed the rituals of the caste by respectfully touching the narrator's feet. So this is the particular area where the narrator was very much impressed. So he followed the rituals of the mannerism in which the feet to be touched or a namaskara is to be done. Then the decision of the narrator. So let us go to the decision of the narrator. Here we go. Let us continue. The same afternoon, Ranga went to the narrator's house with a couple of oranges in his hand. The narrator thought that such a fine and generous boy could get married and settle down. He inquired about his plan to get married. Ranga said that he did not want to get married soon. He was searching for the right girl who was mature enough. Secondly, he wanted to marry a girl whom he admired. Means there is some precious quality. There is some precious quality in the girl. Then only he will get married to the girl. He was not in favor of the arranged marriage. He is not in favor of the arranged marriage. So he is in favor of the marriage which is held between the boy, I mean the presented a marriage prevalent in the society. Till he got a girl of his choice, he wanted to remain a bachelor. The narrator was distressed to learn about Ranga's view on marriage, but he made up his mind that he soon would get Ranga married. So this is the reason, and then the suitable bride is to be found. Therefore, how the bride is searched and found and then arranged, let us see. The narrator found a suitable girl. Girl is the bride for the marriage. The narrator found the most suitable girl for him. It was Rama Rao's niece. Name was Ratna. Name was Ratna, a pretty girl of 11 who had to come to stay with him after her parents died. So this is very unfortunate that the parents of Ratna died, and therefore Ratna came to the uncle's house, Rama Rao's house, to stay for some days, and our narrator decided that he will get Rangappa married to this Ratna. She was from a big town, so she knew how to play the veena and harmonium. She also had a sweet voice. Now, some impressive quality Ratna had. So the impressive quality was that she knew very well how to play the veena, and she also knew how to play the harmonium. She had the sweet voice. She could sing beautifully, and more particularly, she was a pretty girl and was from a beautiful town, big town. The narrator starts playing matchmaker. Now, our narrator will be the matchmaker. He will arrange the match between Ranga and Ratna. The next morning, the narrator told Ranga's wife to send Ratna to his house to fetch some buttermilk. Ratna knew that the narrator, as he was a frequent visitor to Rama Rao's place. So, as you have seen, Rama Rao was a friend to the narrator, and one day, what he said, he wanted to manipulate the situation, and for this reason, what did the narrator say? The narrator said to the wife of the Rama Rao to send Ratna to his house to fetch some buttermilk. Fetch means what? To go and bring. To go and bring. In order to bring some buttermilk, so Ratna was sent. Ratna was supposed to be sent by the wife of Rama Rao. Ratna came to the narrator's house. When Ratna came, he requested her to sing a song. It was a Friday, so she was wearing a sari. So one that day, Ratna was wearing a sari. It was a Friday. So at the behest or at the request of the narrator, she began to sing a melodious song. After hearing this song, the melodious song, what will happen? Ranga will be impressed, so he will be drawing to the house of Shama. Therefore, what happens? Let us see what follows. Ranga's disappointment. Meanwhile, Rangappa comes, Ranga comes to the narrator's house, and stopped at the threshold. He did not want the singing to stop, but he was curious to see the singer. Song was a melodious song. He was very much impressed. His mind was very much happy, or his mind was very much sad. The reason was unknown. He came there. He was under the threshold, or on the just under the doorstep. He did not want to enter because this entering may disturb the singing. He was enchanted by her and kept glancing at her. Enchanted means mesmerized. Okay? Mesmerized. Got so much attracted by her and kept glancing at her. After a while, Ranga asked about Ratna. The narrator quite cunningly told that she was married a year ago. Ranga was extremely disappointed to hear this. So after the departure of Ratna, Ranga asked the narrator about Ratna because he was very much curious to know something about Ratna. But deliberately, what the narrator Shyama did, he told in a very cunning manner that she was married. Why is it so? He said so in order to see the reaction, how much he is impressed, so that he can get him married soon. The narrator notices sign of disappointment on Ranga's face. Ranga left after some time. So narrator was successful in seeing the disappointment on the face of Ranga, and after some conversation, both of them dispersed, both of them departed. Then the narrator's plans. So in this plan, will be helping the Sastri. Sastri is the astrologer. Astrologer is the soothsayer or the seer. Then let us see. The next morning, the narrator met the astrologer, better known as Sastri. Astrologer, Sastri. So he is also called as double E or seer. Okay, the person who sees your future just on after studying your palm. And tutor means instructor or coached him about his plan in Ranga's case. In the afternoon, the narrator met Ranga, who appeared as distraught as he was yesterday. The narrator suggested a meeting Sastri and inquired about what was worrying him. Now see, this is the opportunity that was taken by Shama. Shama told that you were yesterday also you were very unhappy. Today also you are very much worried. What is the cause of this worry? Let us go and consult the Sastri. So in the meantime, he tutored or he instructed Sastri what is to be told. That means he tutored Sastri. Ranga did not protest and went to meet Sastri with the narrator. Sastri pretended to surprise and spoke about meeting the narrator after a long time. So there is a pretension in the face of the Sastri. He told that he has not met the narrator for a long time. So this is the kind of the pretension. But we know what is the reality about it. So both of them met together and made the plan that they will help in the marriage of Ranga and Ratna. The narrator almost ruined his plan by saying that he had already met Sastri that very morning, but Sastri said the situation by changing the sentence. But he was not aware of what he's going to tell. The narrator was about to tell that, oh, right in the morning I met, but Sastri said that the situation just by changing the topic. The narrator told Sastri that something was worrying poor Ranga and they had to come to seek his help. Now, so the narrator told what was the purpose of the visit. So the narrator told that there was something, what is it that we do not know? Something was worrying our Ranga. What is it that we do not know? Can your sastra, can your astrology tell what is the particular thing that is worrying him? After making a pretense, pretense is coming from pretend means acting. Okay, acting. After making a pretense of some calculation, he pretended that he made some calculation. In reality, he did nothing. So he told that it was about a girl. To the narrator's question as to who that girl was, Sastri said that she had the name of something found in the ocean: Kamala, Pachi, Moss, Pearl, Ratna, the precious stone. So Sastri said that it was all about a girl. A girl is worrying, and then the narrator asked the question, who is that girl? Then Sastri told that it is something found in the ocean. Then the narrator was telling, is it a Kamala, is it a Pasi, is it a moss? Then the Then the answer came, yes, it is a pearl, it is a Ratna. Yes, the girl whom we are talking about, or who or it our Rangappa is no other than Ratna, the precious stone, which is the precious stone found in the sea. Therefore, now let us see the plan, how the plan is executed. Let us see. This is very beautiful, my dear children. Let us see. The narrator's plan was bearing fruit. Let us continue. The narrator's plan was bearing fruit. There was some surprise on Rangapa's face and even some happiness. So the reaction was that in Ranga's face there was at the same time some surprise and some happiness also was noticed. On their return, Shama passed in front of Rama Rao's house. So they were departing, and while they were departing, on the way there was the house of Rama Rao, and our narrator Shama went to the house of Rama Rao. And then after some discussion, so he will be coming out and he will be meeting Ranga and he will be telling that, oh, what I said earlier, that was actually wrong. Ratna, whom I thought that she is married, she is not married, she is still now unmarried. Therefore, let us see. Ratna was standing at the door. The narrator went inside to Ramarao's house and came back a little later. He had a surprised look on his face. Surprised look. So there was some sort of surprise, wonder on his face, as if some changes there. He told Ranga that there was some wrong information given to him. Ratna was not married. So what information that he served earlier was wrong. So he told it in a very surprising manner. So Ranga, you will come to be surprised, or you will be surprised just after listening to that. Ratna is not married, that I heard earlier. He also inquired of Ranga whether what Sasti has indicated was true. So he was inquiring about the worrying thing. What Sasti said was true or not. Shama asked Ranga that he is thinking about Ratna. Ranga admitted that whatever Sasti said about the girl was true. Then Ranga admitted that Sasti was correct, astrologer was correct. Now he wanted to get married to the Ratna. Therefore, in this way, the situation was very family. They are very favorable for our Rangappa, and Rangappa consented, or he agreed to the marriage. He consented to the marriage, and in this way, we come to understand that his marriage is done, and finally, he will have a son on the third birthday. The narrator will be called. He, in honor of the narrator, will name his son after the narrator. Therefore, let us go. Let us see now. So this is the part of the marriage. This is the part of the marriage. Finally, Ranga and Ratna got married. Ranga and Ratna got married. All the idealism of marriage, was forgotten as he was totally fascinated by Ratna's beauty and sweet voice. So he was very much attracted. He was very much pulled or attracted. He was drawn by the beauty and the melodious voice or the sweet voice of Ratna. He was bewitched. He was B-W-I-T-C-H-E-D. He was bewitched by the beauty, the gorgeous beauty of Ratna, and therefore he consented or agreed to the marriage. They named their first child Shama, as because of the Shama's effort they had got married. Therefore, in honor of the narrator Shama, he also named his own son as Shama. Years later, Ranga invited the narrator for the dinner on the occasion of his son's third birthday. The son was also named Shama in honor of the narrator. Thus, Ranga was leading a happy married life with Ratna. So this is the happy ending of the lesson. So there, let us see the conclusion of this lesson, conclusion of Ranga's marriage. To sum up Ranga's marriage, we learn about the beauty of the quaint village and its custom and tradition. Plus, it highlights the struggle to preserve the culture against the westernization. So there was westernization. Westernization was coming to the villages. Even then, the culture, the heritage of the village was preserved by the villager by their joint effort. So in this lesson also we will also come to understand about the astrologer. So he actually wants to mock at the astrologer. Astrologer. So what is the attitude of the narrator? The attitude is negative. What is that? He actually wanted to tell that the astrology is not what actually is practiced into the villages or into the town. It is actually exploited by the astrologer. That means whatever is practiced by the astrologer, whatever is predicted by the astrologer is only mere saying. There is truth, less truth in it. Okay, or it is far away from reality. Okay, my dear children, the lesson is over. Now we'll be moving to some model short questions and answers. So here we move. So there is some word meaning also. This word meaning also is very important to be noted down, and many of the words are related to the terminology of South India, particularly related to the Kannada language. First, let us see the question. Question number 2. What is the Gandhavat's opinion about Hosahali and the world's outside? Let us see. In this lesson, we come to understand about the attitude of the Dr. Gandhavata. Dr. Gandhavata speaks so glowingly, means so highly about the village Hosahali. As the author does, he is proud of Hosahali. Though he has toured quite a number of places outside India, he admitted that there is not such a wonderful place like Hosahali. Now let us see the next question. How does the writer describe his village Hosahali? So the the narrator speaks about the village Hosahali. In Hosahali, the mango tree produces a very sour fruit. There are also creeper growing in the ever so fine water of the village pond. The flowers are so free to behold, and the leaves can be used to serve the afternoon meal. Very informative, very clear in only few lines. Now let us see one more question for our complete understanding. So this is related to our hero, that is Rangappa. Let us see this question. What is special about Rangappa? How did the villager react to it? So let us see the answer. Here we see. Here we move. After his return from Bangalore, where he had been studying for 6 months, much to everyone's surprise, he was just the same. His homecoming became a great event for the villagers. People rushed to his doors, stepped to have a look at him. An old lady even ran her hand over his chest, looked into his eyes, and remarked that the Janewara. So this Janewara is a local word, and therefore it is to be kept within single inverted comma. Janewara was still there. He hadn't lost his caste. Now, my dear children, I suppose your understanding of the lesson is very complete. So, it is better that we also see a long type question, to the pattern of the long type question. For that, let us move to the long type question. So, here we move. Let us go to the long type question. So earlier, my dear children, there were questions, value-based question, and now these value-based questions are again deleted. So these valuable questions are in place of this valuable question. There is a CCT questions, means that where your critical faculty is invited. Therefore, valuable question can again be rediscussed. Therefore, let us see this valuable type of question where your own intellect is to have a fair play. This is a humorous story which the part you find the most amusing described as the narrator's story. So here, so you are making a critical analysis of the story and what is actually seems to be funny. If you do not go deeper, then you will not understand the tone, you will not understand whether it is humorous or serious, whether it is a light or heavy. Therefore, it is better that we go deeper to the lesson in order to appreciate whether there is humor or there is laughter, there is joy, there is happiness, there is merriment after reading this lesson. Let us see the answer. Shyamata, the narrator of the story, Ranga's marriage is also the central character. His style of narration evokes a lot of humor in the story. He is an elderly gentleman and refers to himself as a dark piece of wild cake. He is passionately in love with his valleys and villagers and rambles incessantly while describing it, means the valleys. He is a keen observer of his surrounding and uses a colorful style of narration. He feels it is disgraceful to use English word in the native tongue. He is a good judge of people and regards Ranga as a generous and considerate fellow. He is a conservative at heart and feels unhappy at Ranga's decision to remain bachelor or single. He means well and his intentions are good. Intentions are good. Let us continue. He plans to get Ranga married. He calls Ranga when Ratna was singing. He also arranges a meeting with Sasti, whom he had tutored thoroughly. He had decided that Ranga would be a suitable bride for him. He is a shrewd contriver. He is a shrewd. Shrewd means just the opposite of blunt. Meaning here is intelligent. Intelligent. Contriver means the person who contrive, plans, plot. The person who plot means good plotter. As he tells Ranga that Ratna was married, this he does in order to rouse Ranga's desire for the unattainable. The description of the village of Hosahali evokes some humor in the story. The narrator and Ranga's visit to the astrologer and their conversation produce a few comic moments in the story. Therefore, whether we talk about the conversation between the narrator and the astrologer, whether we are talking about his description of the village, there is some element of humor or laughter in it. Therefore, when we are writing this long type question, we will have to make this analysis in this manner. My dear children, I suppose you understood the lesson very well. Thank you for your watching this lesson and writing the note of the same, writing the comprehension question as your assignment. So thank you very much. We'll meet you once again tomorrow with a new video. Till then, bye bye. Have a very good day.